Spanish horses aren't just about legendary beauty. They carry hidden stories of history and mystery that few people know. For the first time, you'll discover all 5 Spanish horse breeds, including one recently discovered. From royal steeds that once carried kings, to mysterious island horses, and even a wild breed only recently recognized. This video brings together research from expert sources around the world, giving you a scientific yet captivating look at Spain's living heritage. Number 1. Andalusian, Pura Raza Española. Step into the world of Spanish horses, and you can't miss the most legendary of them all, the Pura Raza Española. Nicknamed the Horse of Kings, this breed has left its mark on European history for centuries. Standing 15 to 16 hands, 60 to 64 inches, and weighing around 1,100 to 1,300 pounds. The Pura Raza Española carries a frame that's powerful yet elegant, with flowing manes and tails, most often in a silvery gray, but sometimes bay or black. Born in the southern region of Andalusia, this horse became a living emblem of power. From Spain's Philip II to France's Louis XIV, kings treasured them, while Renaissance and Baroque art immortalized their noble image on canvas. And this is the really interesting part. The Pura Raza Española became the foundation of classical dressage, moving with such grace and precision that it looks less like a trot and more like a royal dance. But here's the twist. The Pura Raza Española isn't just a relic of the past. Today, you'll still see them in festivals, grand performances, and conservation programs. Proof that this isn't just history on 4 legs, but a living symbol of modern Spain. But while the Pura Raza Española dazzles in palaces and arenas, on a faraway island, another horse, jet black and fiery, has become the soul of one of Spain's most dangerous celebrations. Number 2. Menorquin, Caballo Menorquin. Leaving Andalusia, we head to the island of Menorca in the Balearic Archipelago, home to a mysterious breed, the Menorquin. Unlike the colorful variety of the Pura Raza Española, the Menorquin comes in just one color, jet black. Standing 15 to 16 hands, 60 to 64 inches, and weighing around 990 to 1,100 pounds. These horses are lean yet muscular, combining elegance with raw power. Its history reflects the cultural crossroads of the Mediterranean, from the Carthaginians and Romans to the later influences of the Arabs and the Catalans. But what truly sets the Menorquin apart is its role in the island's living traditions. And this is the really interesting part. The Menorquin is the beating heart of the Fiestas de San Joan. In this centuries-old festival, black stallions ridden by formally dressed horsemen charge into dense crowds, rearing high above the people in a breathtaking and dangerous display of courage and freedom. But here's the twist. Despite its cultural importance, the Menorquin nearly vanished. It wasn't until the 1980s that it was officially recognized and protected. Today, the population sits at just about 3,000 horses, closely monitored to ensure their survival. But if the Menorquin embodies the mystery and danger of festival life, then in northern Spain lies a much smaller horse, celebrated by the Romans more than 2,000 years ago. Number 3. Asturcon, Caballo Asturcon. Continuing our journey into the misty mountains of Asturias in northern Spain, we find a small but legendary horse, the Asturcon. Standing only 11 to 12 hands, 44 to 48 inches, and weighing about 500 to 575 pounds. The Asturcon is compact, dark-coated, and built with a sturdy frame made for rugged terrain. Ancient Roman records praise this horse for its unique gait known as the amble, a smooth, comfortable pace that allowed riders to travel long distances through steep, unforgiving mountains without tiring. Because of this gift, the Asturcon was widely used in armies and trade caravans across the ancient world. And this is the really interesting part. The Asturcon became more than just transport. It turned into a symbol of Asturias itself, woven into folklore and even mentioned in historic texts as a local treasure. But here's the twist. Despite its long legacy, the 20th century nearly wiped it out. Mechanized farming and uncontrolled crossbreeding caused the population to plummet. Only through modern conservation efforts has the Asturcon climbed back to a few thousand individuals, but it still remains classified as vulnerable. And if the Asturcon is a living relic of the Roman era, then in Castile and Leon, another breed once pushed to the brink of extinction tells an even more dramatic story of survival. Number 4. Losino. Caballo Losino. In the mountains of Burgos, in Castile and Leon, lives a tough, little-known breed, the Losino. Standing only 12 to 13 hands, 48 to 52 inches, the Losino is compact, dark-coated, and built solid. Perfectly adapted to the harsh climate of northern Spain. Since the Middle Ages, the Losino was widely used in both farming and even the military, prized for its endurance. These horses could handle rough, unforgiving terrain that larger breeds simply couldn't manage. And this is the really interesting part. The Losino is one of the oldest Iberian breeds still surviving in pure form today, virtually untouched by crossbreeding, and is considered a living genetic treasure of the Iberian Peninsula. But here's the twist. By the 20th century, modern machinery had nearly driven the Losino to extinction. By the 1980s, fewer than 200 individuals remained. Only urgent conservation programs saved the breed, and now the population has climbed back into the low thousands, though it's still considered rare. And if the Losino is the hardy survivor of the mountains, then in the marshlands of Doñana, a semi-wild breed only recently recognized, will close out our journey with one last surprise. Number 5. Marismeno. Caballo Marismeno. In the marshlands of Doñana in southern Spain lives a rare, semi-wild breed, the Marismeno. Standing around 14 hands, 56 inches, and weighing 880 to 950 pounds, these horses are sturdy, with coats ranging from brown to gray, perfectly adapted to a wet and unforgiving landscape. The Marismeno has long been tied to Andalusia, seen as a close cousin of the pura raza española, but living a wilder, rougher life. For centuries, they were dismissed as just a local variety, not a distinct breed of their own. And this is the really interesting part. Recent genetic studies have proven that the Marismeno carries unique traits, enough to officially recognize it once again as a pure Spanish breed. But here's the twist. Today, only a few hundred remain, making the Marismeno one of the rarest horses on the Iberian Peninsula. Thankfully, conservation projects in Doñana are keeping hope alive for their survival. So from the palaces of Andalusia to the marshes of Doñana, from the horses of kings to breeds once forgotten, these 5 Spanish horse breeds have told us a story both grand and fragile. A living history still unfolding. And the question is, if you could choose one to ride back into medieval Spain, which would it be?